has got you covered. Get evolving market trends, ingenious business ideas, and the latest tech content in the new market dynamic and exciting lifestyle content in the new normal environment. Business Daily. More possibilities.
Mumekaribishwa. Asante. Mujisikie mko nyumbani.
Huyu ni kama hajakula kitu.
Niko na njaa. Haya ngoja.
Ona. Hapa tunakula mzima. Malenge.
Si zile ndio ungetupatia kuliko hii.
Ile ni ya wageni wangu wanakuja.
Lazima tuchore anti. Lala.
Oi. Nini tena?
Liabu akifanya hivi unampatia kitu tamu.
Selector, bigger, tasty and healthy. And now Selector comes with free Choco Primo drinking chocolate for a limited period of time.
Ile utamu iko hapa, watafurahia sana.
With many of us working from home and with our children learning or simply playing at home, we want you to relax and simply love being in your own home. And as our world comes back to life and offices, workplaces and restaurants open up, we promise you can't go wrong with Ace. Ace household cleaning products are a sure way of feeling safe and secure in your home. From our multi-purpose surface cleaner to our bathroom cleaner and toilet cleaner and our disinfectant, all of which have antibacterial properties that kill 99.9% of germs. Ace, we make your home feel brand new.
As we battle COVID-19 and adjust to life's new normal, the University of Nairobi encourages you to pursue your career development goals. Applications are ongoing for the June and September 2020 programs for diploma, bachelor's, master's and PhDs in all our campuses with online classes available. Prevent the spread of COVID-19 by following the government health guidelines. The University of Nairobi is a world-class university committed to scholarly excellence.
Jana ulipotea hivyo baada ya kupepa ule mtemu kwa potapota ukaenda hivyo.
Unajua huyu mrembo alinipeleka hadi kwa nyumba. Nikasema mimi siedi kugulalisha masikio. Shughuli.
Jawa mbona mjipendi?
Kwa nini?
Yaani unawezaje patana tu na mtu kwa street alafu uende ukachapiane na yeye?
Kalishizo mashine.
Ulitumia raba
Kwani bado mnatumia raba?
Okay, ngoja niulize jamaa. Nani hapa hivi amepimwa hivi majuzi?
Pale kwa Mwangi, si ni 10 bob.
Sijasema kupimwa weight. Saa hizi kupimwa HIV ni haraka na ni bure. Unaweza pimwa kwa clinic na bado unaweza jipimia kwa nyumba yako wewe mwenyewe na self test kit 500 peke yake.
Niende nipimwe, nichipate niko positive. Unajua hakuna kitu naogopa kama hiyo.
Kuko na madawa na kuko na counseling na utaishi maisha yako normal tu. Kuko na HIV si eti ni mwisho.
Wewe uko nayo?
Mimi nilishapima.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Pembe Flour, your most trusted quality brand for over 3 decades, has a new look now. This new pack is available in all leading supermarkets and outlets. It's still the same flour. Great taste, so you can cook and bake all you love with Pembe Flour. Pembe yangu ni poa.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
This is NTV.
such a pleasure to host you on NTV Weekend Edition, and as has become customary, we start with the numbers as far as the COVID-19 pandemic is concerned globally. Globally, we have now a total of 7,649,871 confirmed infections. The reported deaths stand at 425,203. Those who've recovered stand at 3,875,489. Now let's take a look at the Africa situation, and the number of confirmed infections stand at 221,086. Reported deaths stand at 5,916. Those who've recovered stand at 101,841. And finally, let's take a look at the situation in the USA, and their number of confirmed infections stand at 2,096,023. The number of recorded deaths in that country stand at 116,231, and those who've recovered stand at 817,952. Well, those are the numbers globally. When we come back, after we take a look at the highlights, we'll bring you the numbers nationally.
Tonight, Senate Business Committee proposes 11-member team to decide the fate of Kirinyaga Governor and Waiguru.
That recommendation has to be ratified by the plenary. So meaning the ultimate entity that is going to decide is the plenary.
But Kirinyaga leaders want the whole house to hear the matter.
Isifanywe na watu ambao ni watu 11 select committee ambao watapewa milioni moja ama mbili, alafu kutoka hapo pesa ya Kirinyaga ipotee na ukweli na haki ya Kirinyaga ipotee. Tunataka ifanywe na 67 senators in the Senate.
Also tonight, restaurants and eateries operating beyond legally provided hours risk losing their license.
Please close your restaurant at 4 p.m. as required by law. And we have instructed law enforcement officers to purge on those who are disobeying this.
Government's home-based care program takes effect.
I'm happy to report today, yes, about 208 of them have been released from home-based care.
Plus, Kisumu residents halt planned burial of popular Ohangla musician. Overwhelmed police officers give up on enforcing COVID-19 funeral guidelines. And on Bullseye, anarchy in the name of Anna. The ominous warning from Babangina.
Tunataka kumuuliza Mheshimiwa Savula aeleze taifa ni kiongozi yupi huyo wa ODM ambaye anadai alimpelekea njama hii ya kupindua Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi.
I was approached by Sifuna himself 3 weeks ago in a meeting.
And the Mulembe soap opera goes on and on.
This is Weekend Edition with Olive Burrows.
Our sign language interpreter tonight is Flora Atieno. The Senate Business Committee has released a proposed list of 11 members to hear the impeachment motion against Kirinyaga Governor and Waiguru, who was removed by the county's assembly on Wednesday. But as the House sets into motion the schedule of events, leaders in Kirinyaga County are demanding the hearing to be that of a full House. Kirinyaga woman representative Wangoi Ngirishi says a committee may easily be manipulated to subvert the will of the people, as Seth Olale now reports.
The proposed 11-member committee put together by the Senate Business Committee are Baringo's Senator Gideon Moi, Anwar Oletitip from Lamu, Nairobi's Johnson Sakaja, and nominated Senators Beth Mugo and Halake from the Jubilee Coalition. The NASA Coalition has picked Minority Whip Cleophas Malala, Moses Kajwang from Homa Bay, Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua, and nominated Senators Judith Pareno and Beatrice Kwamboka. This is, however, not final.
That recommendation has to be ratified by the plenary. So meaning the ultimate entity that is going to decide is the plenary. And I've given you a good example with the Waitito impeachment. It was a decision by the plenary, despite a recommendation.
But as the Senate plans are sitting for next week to determine whether to go the committee way or the hearing of the full House, leaders in Kirinyaga County are already smelling danger.
Watu wa Kirinyaga wananituma.
Led by woman representative Wangoi Ngirishi, a sworn enemy of the embattled governor, the leaders are opposed to any committee hearing of the nation.
Isifanywe na watu ambao ni watu 11 select committee ambao watapewa milioni moja ama 2, alafu kutoka hapo pesa ya Kirinyaga ipotee na ukweli na haki ya Kirinyaga ipotee. Tunataka ifanywe na 67 senators in the Senate.
Watu 1700 Kirinyaga na mauti Kenya kwa jumla ya kwamba itawekwa mikononi ya watu 11 kuliko iwekwe katika kandamnasi yote ya Senate watu 67. Tungesema huku hakuna mtu hapa Kirinyaga, si special. Sisi pia tunataka justice. Venye kulifanywa Kiambu, venye kulifanywa kwa sababu ya Nyeri, pia tunataka Kirinyaga ifanywe hivyo.
Hiyo mjadala iende kwa kamati yote ya bunge, ya Senate, bunge yote, ijadiliwe, wacha yeye aje ajitetee huko. Sababu sisi kile tuko nacho ni evidence.
The leaders accused the House Majority Whip, Irungu Kangata, of a plot to save Governor Waiguru through the proposed committee.
Senate, wacheni tuache kusikia hiyo maneno tunasikia. Siku ya leo tumesikia venye Majority Whip amesema. Na ni vibaya sana kupreempt a decision kabla haijafikia.
Mr. Irungu Kangata, usikize na usikize vizuri. This is not Ohangla. This is Kirinyaga County. You must not bring such kind of corruption. Na hiyo maneno ya kusema watu 11 wakafanya kesi ya mabilioni ya pesa ambayo imepotea hapa Kirinyaga. Tunataka Senate mzima isimame na wasimame na haki zao.
Sasa wewe Bwana Kangata, kama unakubali kukua compromised, sisi tunakuangalia sana. Na ujue wewe ni neighbor hapa. Hata kama hujafika huku unajua unasikia ile maneno watu wetu wanalia. So you must listen to the voice of our people, and we are not taking anything less than a whole plenary discussing, debating and resolving on the status of Waiguru and the impeachment that is ahead.
Accusations that the vocal Muranga senator denies.
The argument which has been made in particular by women rep for Kirinyaga, that is Madam Girishi, is that I've been mobilizing, whipping members to support the committee with a view of exonerating Madam Waiguru. I want to tell everyone that myself, I do not make that decision. That decision is not made by House Business Committee. The decision will be made by the plenary on Tuesday.
The Senate Business Committee will formally table the names of the proposed 11-member committee on Monday, ahead of Tuesday's proceedings, which will determine the way forward.
If it is going to committee way, then we have 10 days within which investigations into the allegations must be done and finalized. But if it's going the plenary way, then it will end faster, just like the Kiambu one. Maybe the next 1 or 2 days should be able to be concluded, and then a verdict is arrived at by the Senate as a House.
The embattled governor was dealt a huge blow on Thursday when the High Court dismissed her application challenging the impeachment in the County Assembly on Wednesday.
Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka did mention that as it is, the Senate chambers is modified to host all the members observing social distancing. But if need be, the event will be transferred to the National Assembly chambers. Seth Olale, NTV, Parliament Buildings, Nairobi.
Countless times she has found herself in the eye of the storm, and countless times she has emerged victorious. But now the Kirinyaga governor, Anne Waiguru, faces possibly the battle of her political life, a determined attempt to remove her from office as the governor of county number 20. Ken Mijungu reports that the odds have often been in Waiguru's favor in the past battles, odds that may now work against her.
The first major battle Anne Waiguru won was after she was accused of being behind the 791 million shilling NYS scandal. Waiguru was never prosecuted for the alleged crimes. Instead, then Principal Secretaries Engineer Peter Mangiti and Lilian Omolo are in court. Waiguru claimed she blew the whistle on the loot.
So for me, I can only take action for the officers who are in my ministry.
She will then be investigated by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, but not surprisingly, she was never taken to court. In fact, Waiguru is quoted several times using the lack of enough evidence that could be used against her by the EACC as being cleared of any wrongdoing. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission had to distance itself from the claims that it cleared the former Devolution Cabinet Secretary over the 791 million shilling National Youth Service tender scandal. At the time, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission chairperson Philip Kinisu said the matter was being investigated by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, which failed to supply them with clear information about the matter. Because of the NYS scandal, Waiguru will enter into a new battlefront with ODM leader Raila Odinga.
Maana yake walikuwa wameiba zaidi ya shilingi bilioni 1. Mimi nimesema kama anasema nimesema muongo, wanipeleka kotini.
Waiguru took Odinga to court for alleged defamation, accusing him of recklessly maligning her name and demanding a public apology. But Odinga's lawyers instead asked her to respond to, among other things, her net worth. Raila refused to apologize or even withdraw his statement. They later reconciled and Waiguru trooped to Capitol Hill where they had a handshake. They have now become friends, enjoying each other's company in the Building Bridges Initiative rallies. Before she resigned and asked for lighter duties in 2015, Waiguru caused a spectacle in Parliament as different factions in the Public Accounts Committee fought in the chambers before live cameras. The committee meeting was questioning the then Devolution Cabinet Secretary over late procurement irregularities at the National Youth Service, and it degenerated into a shouting match between the members of Parliament from the two main coalitions. The Public Accounts Committee recommended an investigation and lifestyle audit of the first-time governor, but it did not get hold of the cabinet decision on the NYS-approved expenditure despite its immense powers to get evidence and even summon. Eventually, she would leave to yet another battle with NARC Kenya party leader Martha Karua over a disputed gubernatorial election. Karua had moved to the Court of Appeal a week after Kerugoya High Court dismissed a petition challenging the election of Governor Waiguru. This case would end at the Supreme Court, where she triumphed.
That some people have decided to use politics as a way to distract the actual fight against corruption.
If she loses the battle to stay as the governor of Kirinyaga in the Senate, it could be the second major setback after her untimely exit from the devolution ministry. If she wins this, it will be just another feather in her cup of triumph. Ken Mijungu, NTV.
Away from politics, Kirinyaga County, now let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers nationally and where we stand in the fight against the coronavirus. 90 more Kenyans have tested positive for the virus in the country, raising the total caseload to 3,305. The new cases have been confirmed from 2,419 samples tested in the last 24 hours. 62 of the new cases are male, while 28 are female. And on a more positive note, 72 individuals have been discharged in the last day, taking the total number of recoveries to 1,164. Sadly, 4 more people have lost their lives to the virus, taking Kenya's death toll to 96. Nairobi County leads in the new infections with 36 cases. Mombasa has 34 cases and Busia has recorded 12 cases, all involving truck drivers. Now that is on top of the 37 reported yesterday. Uasin Gishu County has recorded 3 cases, while Garissa, Kisumu, Meru, Kilifi and Turkana have 1 case each. The government has also issued a stern warning to restaurants disobeying strict operation hours, as Helen Aura now reports.
The Ministry of Health says it has begun implementing the home-based care program for asymptomatic COVID-19 patients with the aim of decongesting public health facilities burdened by the fast increasing numbers.
Involving about 299 patients on home-based isolation and about 15 mothers who are breastfeeding. I'm happy to report today, yes, about 208 of them have been released from home-based care back to the society. They are safe and they can interact with you. There's no need for stigmatization they are as good as you are.
But as the ministry lauds the success in this endeavour, another challenge is emerging, that of restaurants and eateries licensed to open their doors for business, flouting strict guidelines on operating hours.
The minute curfew was extended to 9 p.m., most restaurants extended their times to 10 p.m. And the activities in those restaurants were not what we anticipated the restaurants were going to be doing, serving food, but indeed they were serving alcohol. It's rather unfortunate.
In April, the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government issued a directive for employers to strictly close their offices by 4 p.m. to allow their workers to beat the curfew hours. But that was before President Uhuru Kenyatta extended the beginning of the curfew hours from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. to allow for longer working hours. The Ministry of Health says that until a directive reversing the 4 p.m. closure order is issued, it remains mandatory.
As a ministry, we are reviewing the protocols in use for the operation of eateries and restaurants, and the reviewed protocols that are going to review those timings upwards are also in progress, and they will be released to the public in due course. I'm sure they are going through the final approval stages.
Until then, anyone who disobeys the 4 p.m. order will be dealt with.
But before they are approved, you urge Kenyans to again be responsible. Please close your restaurant at 4 p.m. as required by law. And we have instructed law enforcement officers to purge on those who are disobeying this.
Among the actions the ministry is warning of is revoking of operating of licenses for restaurants and eateries that fail to comply. Helen Aura, NTV.
The Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, and his health counterpart, Mutahi Kagwe, have appointed 12 members to the Interfaith Council on the COVID-19 pandemic, which is to develop protocols that will guide on how to resume communal worship in the prevailing circumstances. The members represent a majority of faiths in the country. The council will be chaired by the Most Reverend Archbishop Anthony Muheria of the Nyeri Catholic Diocese. The members are Reverend Canon Rosemary Mbogo, Pastor Samuel Makori, Al-Haj Hassan Olenado, Sheikh Sukyan Hassan Omar, Sheikh Abdul Latif Abdul Karim, Reverend Father Joseph Mwite, Bishop David Oginde, Reverend Koni Kivuti, Sujata Kotamraju, Right Reverend Samuel Thiongo, Mwangi, and Sheikh Ali Saidi Somoja. The team will be supported by Dr. Kefa Ombacho, Dr. Francis Kuria Kagema, and Paul Famba, who will serve as joint secretaries. The council's mandate lapses on the 31st of December 2020, but may be extended as necessary. There was drama in Chiga village in Kisumu County after unruly fans of the late popular Ohangla musician Bernard Onyango, popularly known as Abeni Jachiga, sealed off a grave dug at the home to bury him. Police officers had to scamper for safety as the irate mourners demanded that the burial be postponed until a later date to accord the singer what they described as a decent burial. Oko Kusa was there.
The defiant fans of Abeni Jachiga, he of the Mano Kasinde Luo hit song, vowed not to allow any burial at his home, at least not in a hurry, as directed by the government.
Serikali ya Kisumu East atuache tusike ndugu yetu Abeni. Watuweke na maneno mingi.
I want Anyang Nyongo to know that we don't want to Zeka today. Yes. We just want to Kunyo. Let us Kunyo. Leave us to Kunyo. And tomorrow to Tazeka Kesho.
The popular Ohangla singer's burial had been scheduled for Friday morning in conformity with the COVID-19 containment measures, but a charged crowd turned up at his home in Chiga and was never going to let that happen.
Hatujatoa rambirambi zetu kama familia na marafiki, hatujawekewa banyimbo zake tukatika. Tuko na uchungu mwingi sana. We are very sad. That is not right. It is not in order. What is the meaning of that? Naitwa Alfina Chengo Diambo.
Hii vile nilisikia tu ati Abeni amekufa. Nimechukua simu yangu paol. Sasa nini majenzi? Kadi kwa ndio hike ka ati anataka kusikwa hapa, ati kesho tutasikia ati ni corona. Wasike tu tutamtoa. Kulingana na zile wimbo za Abeni Kipchoge, imebidi nikuja na sistangu wawili. Mmoja ako na watoto wawili, mmoja ako single. Mimi ni mtu wa Cypriana Witi. Kama ni octopus tunafika, na mimi pia nataka nitoke hapa. Kama ni Gwara, natoka hapa na wasichana wawili, nafika nao Mabei County. Hata kama kafyu itafanya nilale Kidubei, nitalala Kidubei ama kitu.
Here, all the government guidelines and regulations of preventing the spread of coronavirus were disregarded in full view of the authorities as the surging crowds jostled to view the remains of the popular musician.
Sisi tunajua kwa tongo lazima tuvae mask. Kama ameleta mtu wetu kama tutakuwa tayari. Sasa mimi nilikuwa tu na shilingi 10 na kununua chapati na mask.
Attempts by local leaders, police and county officials to persuade the mourners to allow the burial to go on fell on deaf ears. The authorities eventually left, leaving behind the casket carrying the remains of Abeni Kipchoge in the hands of his irate fans. It is not clear what transpired thereafter. Ouko Kusa, NTV, Kisumu.
Edmond Nyabula and Ken Mijungu tell me they were also some of his biggest fans. In fact, they had me listen to Mano. What is it? Yes. One of his most popular singles, Mano Kasinde, and I have to say I was missing out. Away from that, Nyali Member of Parliament Muhammad Ali says he is almost attaining the signatures required to institute a motion of no confidence in Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia. CS Macharia has, however, rubbished the accusations levelled against him as maliciously uninformed. And as Melita Oletenges now reports, some political leaders from Mount Kenya region have come to the defense of the CS.
Nyali MP Mohammed Ali is accusing Transport and Infrastructure Cabinet Secretary James Macharia of gross violation of the Constitution in failing to hold public participation on a directive restricting the transportation of goods from Mombasa through the standard gauge railway. CS Macharia has responded, terming the intended motion as malicious.
Anaanza kutisha sisi, ajue hatuwezi kutishika sisi. Kwa sababu sisi ni jeshi ya Rais Kenyatta. Na rais akiwa yeye komanda ya hiyo jeshi, sisi hatuwezi kurudi nyuma.
But Ali has vowed to soldier on. In fact, he has been collecting signatures in Parliament. The Nyali legislator was to table the vote of no confidence motion last week, but he failed to collect enough signatures in time.
To bring the motion to the floor of the House, we need 87 members of Parliament, and so far I have 82. I believe by next week I'll have the required number, even more than the required number, to impeach the CS for all the things he has done.
Leaders from the Mount Kenya region have in response come to the defense of the long-serving transport minister.
Wenye niliona kwa hiyo karatasi, signature imechorwa ng'ombe, unasema ni mbuge amesign. So tunajua hizo signature ni fake.
Nataka Macharia kuja kujengea barabara kwako nyumbani ili ujue anafanya kazi. Kwa hivyo tunasema ukuje pole pole.
Waambiwe vizuri, waamuke, manake wanaota. They are just dreaming. Waziri wewe unafanya kazi na tutashikilia wewe.
CS Macharia was speaking upon inspecting the construction of the 540 kilometers Mau Mau Road. Once complete, the 30 billion shillings project will traverse 4 central region counties.
Transport CS James Macharia has remained adamant that his core mandate is development, and he shall not be intimidated by any efforts to remove him from office. Leaders from Central Region, both Kielereke and Tangatanga, have backed him up, saying any efforts to remove him from office will be shot down without hesitation. Melita Oletenges, NTV, Nyeri County.
Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula has withdrawn a petition he filed at the political party's disputes tribunal seeking to bar Wafula Wamunyinyi and company from taking over the leadership of Ford Kenya Party just hours after the tribunal reaffirmed the embattled Bungoma senator as the bona fide party leader. During a sitting at the Milimani Law Courts, the tribunal ruled that the purported new interim Ford Kenya leader, Wafula Wamunyinyi-led faction, will now face the disciplinary committee on Tuesday next week to answer to matters surrounding the intended takeover. The tribunal has terminated Wetangula's application after both factions agreed to have the matter resolved through the party's internal dispute resolution mechanisms. But the Registrar of Political Parties, Anne Nderitu, maintains that the notice published in the Kenya Gazette seeking to effect the changes in the party still stands. We take a break, but we have lots more news coming your way after that.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
All day, we expect our mouth to do all kinds of things. That is why it needs all-round protection. New Oral-B Pro Health toothpaste. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because your mouth is doing more than you think. New Oral-B Pro Health. All-round protection for your whole mouth.
Want to get it all, even on your period? Now you can. 9 out of 10 women who tried our product love it and will buy it. New Always 2-in-1, feathery soft top sheet and super absorbing channels. We are generational change, always.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
My whole life is in my phone. Niko na simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Mimi niko sawa. Niko na simu ya baba. Kani picha simu ya baba.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Sending money has never been this easy. All you need to do is log into your bank's mobile app or USSD menu. Select the PesaLink option in your bank's menu. Select Send to Account. Enter the recipient account number. Enter the amount you want to send. Enter the reason for payment. Confirm the details of the transaction. After confirming, you will receive a confirmation notification via text. PesaLink. Easy, affordable, instant. Anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to Kenya. This is my jam.
You know how we do it each and every Saturday live on your screens.
I, Miss Katiwa, and of course my one and only DJ, the roughest and the toughest DJ Mo, will be on the deck.
This week, live from Kingston, Jamaica, Anthony B himself.
Yaga yo, it's Anthony B, and you can check me out this Saturday, 10 p.m. on NTV. Jam Down.
Jam Down KE is the hashtag. I'll see you 10 p.m.
It's beer fire, beer energy, beer vibes. It's all about upliftment, reality, and music.
Salute.
Don't go nowhere.
Let me see the real warrior, pop up chain and break barrier.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. The government is now talking tough as it vows to end bloodshed in the death ridges of Marsabit following the killing of 15 people in the last 1 week. The attacks happened in separate incidents across the county, as the latest killings have now been linked to politics and the fight for pasture.
Wapokea roho zao mbinguni na kuajalia raha heri ya mbinguni.
The incidents have sparked uproar, with growing calls for justice by area residents, as the security chiefs in Marsabit now say politicians are to blame.
Hii vitu lazima ishe. Hii kazi lazima Marsabit iwe kama county zingine. Hakuna kila siku kuripoti mambo ya sijui watu wamewaona nini.
We cannot allow people to be reckless and escape with it. Statements which are capable to be inflammatory, which will further undermine the peace of the county.
The police have broken their silence over the killings, an investigation linked incitement by local politicians who are fueling the skirmishes. According to the county commissioner, those politicians will be arrested once investigations are concluded. He, however, denied claim that his office and security personnel in the area were biased after leaders from Laisamis accused the administrator.
The individuals who are sent there, unfortunately, some of them don't qualify to be in those offices. It is for that reason that we say, and we keep on asking for a reshuffle.
My work is to ensure that criminals are brought to book, that there is peace and security in Marsabit. I have no interest, whether it's a Borana, whether it's a Gabra, whether it's Urendile, whether it's Dasnach. To me, they are criminals and they must be brought to book, period.
Tension still remains high in Wajir-Marsabit border following the killing of at least 8 Dogodia herders over pasture, while 3 people were murdered in Northor and Saku border. 4 other people were shot dead in Badasa, Songa Road. The assurance from the government to restore order in the troubled north is yet to manifest in a region that has experienced instability for decades. Mamo Ali, NTV, Marsabit.
How engaged are you when it comes to what your child is watching on the internet? The web space can be a dangerous village for just about anyone, but children and teens are especially vulnerable. Online safety experts are urging parents and teachers to talk to their children about the hazards of the internet, as Anita Nkonge tells us.
The COVID-19 pandemic has forced children to spend more time at home. More children and teenagers now have access to mobile phones and social media platforms. Some parents are finding it harder to keep their children safe, not just from the virus, but internet predators. Children are busy online browsing entertainment and e-learning sites, but what many don't realize is how easy it is for an online predator to stalk your child. Earlier this month, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, in collaboration with the Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit, warned parents, guardians, and schools that they were seeing an increase in offenses against children online during this COVID-19 pandemic.
The predators online are engaging children online. Either they send cookies so that when the children are like or click onto them, they are automatically connected to, they get details of the children.
Parents, guardians, and teachers are urged to be forthright with their children about their online activities and the costly or even the tragic consequences of being lured into dangerous personal encounters in the cyberspace.
The tips I would parents first and foremost is stop being oblivious, thinking that these things only happen to other people. Talk about the digital footprints that they put out there. For instance, if they're playing games, are they allowed to chat with strangers? Are they allowed to play with multiplayers and people they do not know? Are you allowing your children to create friends online? And also, even when they're in the class setup, and this is especially for educators, are you also managing the class the class platforms that you're using to teach your children? For instance, if you like using Zoom, once all your participants are in the class, are you locking it so that there are no strangers coming in? Also, are you enabling your children to know that the class ID and the password is private information? They are not supposed to just share those things with everybody.
Just recently, Facebook launched a Messenger Kids available in the Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa. The application seeks to encourage and give children a safe platform to interact with their friends virtually, as well as giving parents the chance to supervise their interactions. The public is being encouraged to report any curious case to the Child Protection Unit through the toll-free line 116 or to the nearest police station. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
3 police officers implicated in the brutal torture of a woman in Olenguruone, Nakuru County by dragging her while tied to a motorcycle will remain in custody for 9 more days. This follows a successful plea by the prosecution to have them detained while they conclude investigations into the incident, whose viral recording has since sparked outrage over police brutality. Appearing before Principal Magistrate Faith Munyi, the 3 officers and another civilian were to answer to assault charges but have not taken plea to allow for the prosecution to conclude investigations. The case will be heard on the 22nd of June. President Uhuru Kenyatta has ordered that the Kenyan flag and that of the East African community be flown at half-mast in honor of the late Burundian President Pierre Nkurunziza, who died 2 days ago of what were initially told was a heart attack, but according to the BBC, it is now emerging to have been COVID-19. The order is to take effect from dawn tomorrow, that is the 13th of June 2020, and will run until sunset on the day of his interment. It is to be observed in all public buildings, public grounds, and throughout the entire Republic of Kenya, including all of Kenya's diplomatic missions abroad. President Kenyatta has eulogized President Nkurunziza as a great son of Africa who made enormous contributions to advancing integration and prosperity of the East African community. And with that, we take a break. But when we come back with business, we'll tell you where 5 billion of your hard-earned taxpayer money went down the drain.
The county government of Nyeri, with the approval of His Excellency Governor Mutahi Kahiga, has granted a 100% waiver of accrued interest sums on outstanding land rates effective 19th May 2020 to 19th June 2020. With a cashless system, obtain your invoice from respective sub-county offices and make payments through accounts held at Cooperative Bank or Kenya Commercial Bank, Nyeri branch, using account numbers on your screen, or M-Pesa Paybill 191900 and get your official receipt.
We all are looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
The Kenya Film Commission is glad to announce that the third edition of My Kenya, My Story mobile phone film competition received over 250 submissions. The call for submissions closed on the 3rd of June 2020. From the submissions, 20 top films will be shortlisted for public voting. You are encouraged to watch and vote for your favorite short film, which will be done by the Kenya Film Commission YouTube platform. The winner of Best Short Film will walk away with 200,000 shillings, while the first and second runners-up will receive 150,000 shillings and 100,000 shillings respectively. Voting runs from the 16th of June 2020 through to the 26th of June 2020. The winners will be announced on the 30th of June 2020. Kenya Film Commission. Film Kenya. Capture Africa.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. Time now for the business news. Businessmen who are owed money by the government in the form of VAT refunds are hoping that this time round the government will not pay mere lip service to the commitment to pay them. Alex Mwangi reports on this ever-recurring matter that just refuses to go away.
There are 3 instances through which VAT refunds in Kenya are generated. One is the refund of tax on bad debts, tax paid in error, and in cases where zero-rated supplies result in excess credits for businesses. The third one, refunds arising from the sale of zero-rated products, is the most common reason for VAT refunds in Kenya. The amount owed to businesses by the government is in the range of tens of billions of shillings. On its part, the Kenya Revenue Authority says it does not receive sufficient money from the National Treasury on a monthly basis to offset the claims for VAT refunds. The government hopes to rectify this problem that has persisted for years.
To further support and enhance the liquidity of these enterprises, I propose to fast-track payment of outstanding verified VAT refund claims and pending bills owed to businesses by allocating Kenya shilling 10 billion. This is in addition to the Kenya shilling 23.1 billion approved by this House in April 2020 in the supplementary budget for the same purpose.
But going forward, what we would like is a long-term measure to address the issue of outstanding VAT refunds. How do we have a mechanism, as other countries do, that is more efficient, where VAT refunds can automatically be paid out of KRA, or a higher allocation can be given to ensure that we don't have the backlogs?
The COVID-19 pandemic has squeezed the cash flow that businesses have, making it paramount for them to receive the VAT refunds which are due to them. When you consider the cumulative stockpile of what is owed to businesses by the government, it's an amount that is sufficient to fund combined ministries.
There's also the issue of the withholding VAT and the accumulation of about 100 billion in credit on the system. And we're also having a discussion on how we can offset that over a period of time so that we also reduce that obligation.
If businessmen are to receive their VAT refunds sooner rather than later, then the Treasury CS will need to put his foot down on this matter, or else he'll find himself reading similar commitments to pay the refunds in next year's budget. Alex Mwangi, NTV.
The Kenyan government has admitted that taxpayers lost 5 billion shillings in less than 2 years funding the strategic food reserve, which flopped in its mandate of ensuring food security. The shocking revelation comes at a time when the SFR is undergoing dissolution, peeling back the surface of how an ill-thought-out project saw Kenyans bear a heavy load.
Top of what was set to be Kenya's food reserve has now been revealed as having burnt the government's fingers so badly that it quickly pulled its hand out of the national maize supply chain.
Henceforth, the government will not directly buy, sell maize, or set prices of maize. The government will no longer purchase, distribute, sell, or set prices of fertilizer, seeds, or any farm inputs.
Agriculture Principal Secretary Hamadi Boga has revealed that the Strategic Food Reserve SFR, which was established 5 years ago, failed in its role of maintaining the food reserve and ensuring price stabilization. Speaking on a webinar discussing how the country can widen its food basket, Boga dubbed the SFR, which is currently being dissolved and its role taken up by the National Cereals and Produce Board, as a loss-making entity.
It was a very costly system. Every year we were writing book losses. You buy the maize at a very high price and sell it at a very low price. So in between is a book loss. I think for the time I've been here, I've written a book loss of 5 billion, just because we bought the maize at 3,200 and sold it, some of it at 1,400, some of it at 2,500, some of it 2,700, and all the losses are transferred to the taxpayer.
Boga was appointed in the Agriculture docket as the Principal Secretary in the State Department of Agricultural Research in 2018. Going by his pronouncement of the losses recorded, Kenyans might have lost more than twofold of the amount he revealed during the times SFR was in operation.
Every time the government goes into this space, it has failed. We bought dryers and gave them to farmers who could not run them. The dryers are just there. Every time they are waiting for the government to go and repair them.
So serious is the government in these pronouncements that yesterday, in the 2020-2021 budget, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani allocated 3 billion shillings to have farmers directly buy electronic vouchers from agriculture offices in their counties, which they can later redeem at agro-shops for the subsidized fertilizers. This new method takes over a task previously carried out by NCPB, whose staff have been marred with accusations of repackaging subsidized fertilizer and selling it at market rate. Lilian Kiarie, NTV.
I don't know how shocking that news is, as Kenyans have been forced to develop rather robust shock absorbers. The long-awaited rehabilitation of the Nairobi-Nanyuki Old Railway line is finally concluding with the reopening of the Thika-Nairobi section. The revamping of the meter gauge railway is also being initiated in other regions of the country to boost the transport sector in the country.
After a decade of deafening silence at the Thika railway terminus, the sound of a cargo engine wakes up one of the country's industrial zone. The return of the train has been necessitated by the rehabilitation of the 178-kilometer Nairobi-Thika-Nanyuki meter gauge railway. The infrastructure, which comes as a huge relief to industries that usually transport goods in bulk via road, is expected to significantly reduce the cost of doing business for firms that are already reeling from the unfavorable economic status caused by the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. At least 6 agricultural, marketing, processed fuel and vegetable oil manufacturers are among other industries in Thika that have already committed to transporting cargo through the train. 12 more companies from the vast Mount Kenya region have reportedly expressed interest to use the revamped railway network that will be much faster and reliable than road. Some of the firms currently enjoying the rail services include Del Monte Kenya Limited, which has been moving at least 2,400 tons of cargo every week to the port of Mombasa.
The road haulers need to go through the current road conditions, speed bumps, potholes, and this disrupts the contents of the container, and it takes roughly 40 days to get there. So there could be some damages occurring, but we find with the rail the transition is much smoother.
Kenya Railways Corporation Operations Manager James Ciele says the rehabilitation of the Thika-Nanyuki railway line is over 80% complete, and that already 8 locomotives designated to ferry passengers and cargo. The corporation has also embarked on the revival of all the stations along the old line in Murang'a, Kirinyaga, Nyeri and Laikipia counties to to spur economic development in the entire central region.
This railway we are doing, which is from Nairobi to Nanyuki, it basically connects the two corridors. So in terms of development, it will actually transverse at least 7 counties. And this is what you bring development to our people.
The revival of the commuter train is targeting about 20,000 passengers each day, starting 1st July 2020, when rehabilitation of the 3 billion shillings project is expected to be complete. Seth Olale, NTV.
The United Kingdom's economy lost a fifth of its size in the month of April, pointing to the extensive impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The UK is among the worst affected countries globally when it comes to the coronavirus, given the number of fatalities it has had. Over and above the pandemic, Britain is in tough negotiations with the European Union on the terms of Brexit after the grace period, and time is running out on that front without much to show for it. The unprecedented nature of the pandemic is proving problematic for policymakers, given that the economic models to tackle it have not been in existence. The financials conclude business news, but coming up next is Bullseye.
Select PesaLink on your bank app or USSD. Step 2. Select either send to phone or send to account. Step 3. Input the phone number or account number to send money to and confirm the transaction. PesaLink. Easy, affordable, instant.
Do your gums hurt?
Yeah.
Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile?
All that in one toothpaste?
Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums.
Ah, Colgate Herbal.
Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
This new pack is available in all leading supermarkets and outlets. It's still the same flour. Pembe yangu ni poa.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards, and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sako with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sako Squad. Just dial *544# from your telecom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. The words betrayal and traitor have found a home among the men of Mulembe. From party coups to backstabbing, the peace has been shattered. It's no longer at ease in the Luya nation, and the same applies for Anne Mumbi, whose tenure as the Kirinyaga queen is now threatened. And as Emmanuel Juma now reports on Bullseye, the greatest poverty, they say, is being unwanted, and that could be how one David Maraga is feeling at the moment.
There is a man walking alone, quite literally, and this time the gloves, or is it the masks, are off. Let's just say Maraga is letting the cat out of the bag.
The president has persisted in this refusal, despite orders in 2 cases requiring him to swear those judges within 14 days.
The man must have a reason, Bwana CJ.
He refused to swear in the nominated judges because he had information that some of them have integrity issues.
And with that, the no-speaking AG was smoked out. And boy, oh boy, how the Kihara has expanded. Let's hear your wisdom.
The people of Kenya deserve wise and effective leadership.
In your wisdom, Maraga, what has Kihara been up to?
The Attorney General, as is now his practice, filed notices of appeal, but he has not done anything to prosecute appeals, if any, from those decisions.
The Honorable the Chief Justice is openly commenting on the relative merits and demerits of cases involving the executive.
Clearly, the legal system requires some kind of fumigation, sanitization. What do they tell you when you suggest that, Bwana CJ?
Are always rebuffed with the contemptuous utadu attitude.
Grandstanding and playing to the gallery for hero status.
I wonder who between the two will emerge the hero. This too was during a fumigation exercise in Kirinyaga. They nearly managed to achieve a shoulder-high eviction, and the drama has all to do with one Anna. Don't sound surprised, UK. You psyched them up with this.
Hapa kama MCA wako area. Mko huko? Muwe chonjo.
They obeyed.
This county assembly now resolves to remove Honorable Anne Waiguru from the office of the county governor of Kirinyaga.
UK also said this.
Wewe ukienda kufanya mambo hayo, ushikwe. Usianze kusema, adu Kirinyaga leo netuhulirwo, na ukiyana wayigana adu Kirinyaga kana wayigawe wiki.
Now, Anna, it seems, has been doing more of dancing than the daunting tasks some expected her to accomplish.
Anne, kuwa chonjo. Unaona yale yanafanyika kwingine huko na huko na huko.
Ominous. The MCAs seem to have taken the cue, and now they want the music to stop for the one from above. She has fought many fights, and who knows, After all, she's unbelievable.
We don't want divisive politics in this country.
Then there is this man, Savula, Ayub Savula.
What does that mean? I undermine my party? No, I cannot. I cannot.
Someone wanted him to betray his party leader.
Tunataka kumuuliza Mheshimiwa Savula aeleze taifa ni kiongozi yupi huyo wa ODM ambaye anadai alimpelekea njama hii ya kupindua Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi kutoka chama chake.
I was approached by Sifuna himself 3 weeks ago in a meeting. And Sifuna told me, work with us. We are planning on how we can make sure that the Luhya community follows one course, then later we can change course towards the Luhya community.
We like to point out to both Savula and Mudavadi that if members of their village operation decide that it is time to dislodge them from their positions, they must carry their own cross and leave us out of it.
Sifuna is not my equal. He failed nomination in Kandui for a parliamentary seat. I'm a second-term MP. Sifuna failed election in Nairobi, senatorial election. He's so junior to me. That's why I told him he cannot even approach me further than that. Sifuna is a street boy.
Constantly cry about another man in your own home is to reach ludicrous new lows.
You know, from the many soap operas starring men of Mulembe, one can create many things. The son of Jomo calls.
Nimeona meme mingi ambazo mumetumatuma huko.
Uhunye. Meme is a kid, a God's baby in Kiluhya.
Nimeona meme mingi.
If you say so.
Fadhali uwe hai ndio uweze kukula hiyo happy ambayo unatafuta.
Emmanuel Juma, Bullseye, NTV.
Bullseye, as always, is a treat. And another treat is coming your way in the form of Ida Wiringa, looking resplendent in green. She'll be back with the sports news after this break.
Sako, we are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are Stima Sako, a true reflection of you.
Applications are ongoing for the June and September 2020 programs for diploma, bachelor's, master's and PhDs in all our campuses with online classes available. Prevent the spread of COVID-19 by following the government health guidelines. The University of Nairobi is a world-class university committed to scholarly excellence.
Change can be disruptive, but Business Daily has got you covered. Get evolving market trends, ingenious business ideas, and the latest tech content in the new market dynamic and exciting lifestyle content in the new normal environment. Business Daily. More possibilities.
Welcome to Kenya. This is my jam.
You know how we do it each and every Saturday live on your screens.
I, Miss Katiwa, and of course my one and only DJ, the roughest and the toughest DJ Mo, will be on the decks.
This week, live from Kingston, Jamaica, Anthony B himself.
Yaga yo, it's Anthony B and you can check me out this Saturday, 10 p.m. on NTV. Jam Down.
Jam Down KE is the hashtag. I'll see you. 10 p.m.
It's beer fire, beer energy, beer vibes. It's all about upliftment, reality and music.
Salute.
Don't go nowhere.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
A very good Friday evening to you. Time for the latest happening in the world of sport. Well, Team Kenya was dominated by Team Norway as the three Ingebrigtsen brothers, Jacob, Philip and Henrik, beat a Kenyan quintet led by 2019 and 2017 World 1500 meters champions Timothy Cheruiyot and Elijah Manangoi in the 2000 meters. While the Norwegians ran in a near-perfect atmosphere in the Bislett Stadium in Oslo, the Kenyans had to contend with high altitude and rain at the Nyayo Stadium. All three Norwegians ran inside of the 4 minutes 57 seconds mark, while the fastest Kenyan was Cheruiyot in 5 minutes 3 seconds, while the race saw Jacob Ingebrigtsen break the 19-year-old European record in the 2000 meters, clocking 4 minutes 50.01 seconds. Meanwhile, two-time 400 meters hurdles world champion Karsten Warholm broke the 18-year-old 300 meters world record, clocking 33.78 seconds. Well, in our ongoing stadium spotlight, we focus on Tharaka Nithi, while the ongoing construction of the Kirubia Stadium in the county is expected to be complete in 4 months' time. Speaking during an inspection tour of the stadia on Friday, Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Hassan Nur Hassan, said already the project, which will cost 274 million shillings, is 70% complete. He said the work started on September 23rd, I beg your pardon, and was expected to take only 8 months. That was back in 2016, but delayed due to lack of funds, among other challenges. Well, according to the CAS, the flagship stadium projects for the Ministry of Sports will also be complete soon.
We have the Kipchoge Stadium in Wasingishu, which are also on the same schedule. We also have water on the same schedule. Those are the flagship stadiums.
Let's continue that spotlight. Renovation work has started at the Mbaraki Stadium in Mombasa, with the goal being upgrading the stadium to international standards that befit the coastal town. Speaking during a media tour at the grounds to assess the status of the renovation work, Director of Mbaraki Sports Club, Dixon Kibagendi, said that the pitch has been worked on and now players can be able to show off their skills, hopefully. His words were echoed by Bandari coach Ken Odhiambo, who stated that a pitch is the cornerstone of any stadium. Meanwhile, 4 Bandari players are currently out of the country, while others are in other parts of the country currently due to disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. But technology has come in handy in as far as training is concerned.
Been in communication with the players. They've been working a lot. I've been sending them like training programs through WhatsApp.
We want to increase the capacity by building round. Tutakuwa na shed ambapo watu watakuwa nakaa kistarehe, ukitoka hapo unajua umetoka Bandari FC.
Change is in the air on Ngong Road once again after the Kenya Rugby Union parted ways with the Kenya Rugby Union technical director, Paul Feeney, by mutual consent. According to KRU, Feeney, who was appointed to the role that also included being Kenya Sevens head coach in September 2019, left Kenya in April to be with his family in New Zealand, and he won't be returning. Now, under his leadership, Shujaa won the 2019 Rugby Africa Men's Sevens in Johannesburg, South Africa, a result that secured qualification to the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2021. The former Fiji boss also guided the Morans to main cup victory at the 2019 Tusker Safari Sevens. The union has encouraged applications from interested parties for the vacant position. Shujaa currently sit 12th in the World Rugby Series standings with 35 points after 6 legs. After a series of donations across the North Rift region, today the king of marathon, Eliud Kipchoge, through his foundation, paced his partners and other well-wishers to his home village of Kapsisia in Nandi County, where 70 families benefited from the goodies, while the 70 vulnerable families drawn from the larger Talai clan received several packages, including solar kits, foodstuffs, blankets, sanitary pads, among other necessities. The Eliud Kipchoge Foundation did the donation in in collaboration with Madhvi Dalal, who runs an initiative, PADMAD, that focuses on menstrual, sexual and reproductive health rights.
I've donated to about over 600 athletes, and last Tuesday I decided to go across the board and see the villages where we are training and where I come from. That's why the foundation actually decided to do the same today here.
We partnered with Eliud Kipchoge Foundation to give also food to the vulnerable people. We've given sweaters, blankets and other amenities for the people who've been affected by the COVID situation.
Kipchoge alituletea wakeni, tumeshukuru sana kwa hii foundation yake ya Eliud Kipchoge. Tumefurahi tukiwa wamama.
Well, this week marks 10 years since South Africa hosted a World Cup highly charged with symbolism but dogged by questions about the wisdom of spending billions on a sports event that might have been better used elsewhere. Hosting the first soccer World Cup in Africa was seen as a coming of age for the embattled continent.
The pass, at least in the near future, on account of COVID-19?
Yeah, that's definitely one in the making as we speak. Definitely a story for another day.
All right, thank you very much. I was Ida Winger with the sports, and that concludes NTV Weekend Edition. I'll be handing you over to Zainab Ismail, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow. But coming up is The Trend. Actually, I should say thank you to Flora Tieno, who has been our sign language interpreter. Before I hand you over to The Trend, we have DJ E on the other side of studio. He will wind us down with what to expect coming up on The Trend.